Sunrise on the Reaping, the fifth installment in Suzanne Collins' Hunger Games series, is not merely a prequel, but a foundational tragedy that casts a long, dark shadow over the entire original trilogy. Set 24 years before Katniss Everdeen volunteered for the 74th Hunger Games, this novel plunges us into the brutal reality of the second prequel, the 50th Hunger Games, an event so infamous it is whispered about for decades. Narrated by a 16-year-old Haymitch Abernathy, the story is a masterful exploration of the mechanisms of tyranny, the birth of a specific kind of revolutionary spirit, and the personal cataclysm that forges the broken mentor we first meet in the Hunger Games. The setting, Panem in the shadow of the dark days. The novel opens in District 12, but a District 12 that is perceptibly different from the one Katniss knows. It's a period roughly 40 years after the First Rebellion was crushed. The memories of the dark days are fresher, the capital's grip is visibly tighter in some ways, and the districts exist in a state of more overt, simmering resentment. However, due to the lucrative nature of its industry, District 12 is perhaps marginally less destitute than it would become, though the seam and the merchant class still represent a stark divide. We are introduced to a young Haymitch Abernathy. He is not the drunken cynic of the future, but a sharp, observant, and deeply pragmatic teenager. Hailing from the merchant side of the district, his family is not wealthy, but lives with a degree of stability that those in the seam lack. This background is crucial. It provides him with a level of nourishment and education that, while basic, gives him a cognitive edge. He is not a physical powerhouse like many career tributes. His weapon of choice is his mind. He possesses a natural charisma and a cunning ability to read people and situations, skills honed by navigating the complex social landscape of his district. The Reaping and the second prequel. The atmosphere on Reaping Day is particularly thick with dread. Everyone knows the significance of the 50th Games. The prequel decree, read by the mayor, reveals the twist for this anniversary. As a reminder of the capital's magnanimity in not wiping out the entire rebel population, each district must offer up double the number of tributes. 2 boys and 2 girls, 48 children in total, will be sent into the arena. This announcement is a masterstroke of psychological terror from the capital. It's not just about increasing the body count. It's about fracturing the districts from within. The logistics of the reaping become twice as terrifying. The chances of being selected are doubled, and the small, fragile communities within each district are forced to see 4 of their children condemned instead of 2. In District 12, the tension is palpable. When the names are drawn, Haymitch Abernathy's is called. His reaction is not one of dramatic despair, but a cold, sinking resignation. He is joined by another boy from the seam and 2 girls, their names and brief personalities adding to the tragic weight of the moment. The journey to the capital, the politics of perception. The train ride to the capital is where Haymitch's strategic mind begins to activate. He is accompanied by his escorts and, most importantly, his mentor, a previous victor from District 12 whose name has been lost to time, a broken man who offers little to no guidance. This experience is formative for Haymitch. It shows him the bleak future that awaits a victor who cannot play the capital's game, and it forces him to rely entirely on his own wits. In the capital, Haymitch is a fish out of water, but he is a quick study. He observes the grotesque opulence, the fickle nature of the citizens, and the performative cruelty of the game makers. He understands that the games are not just a punishment, but a spectacle, a core piece of the capital's propaganda machine. During his training and private session, he doesn't showcase brute strength. Instead, he demonstrates a keen understanding of survival, poisons, and traps, and most importantly, he plays to the audience. He cultivates a persona, not the lovable underdog, but the clever, slightly arrogant dark horse. He knows he needs sponsors to survive, and he begins to manipulate his image to attract them. His stylist, a young and ambitious Capitolite, creates an outfit for the tribute parade that plays on District 12's coal mining heritage, but with a glamorous, dangerous twist. Haymitch leans into it, understanding the power of a memorable entrance. He also begins to form calculated alliances. In an arena with 47 other tributes, going it alone is a near-certain death sentence. He identifies other non-career tributes who seem capable and trustworthy, engaging in the delicate dance of partnership where any handshake could end in a knife in the back. The Arena, a bloody symphony of chaos. The arena for the 50th Hunger Games is a masterpiece of capital engineering designed for maximum carnage. It's a large, varied landscape, dense forests, rocky gorges, and a central open field, perfect for forcing tributes together for brutal confrontations. The cornucopia, stocked with twice the usual amount of supplies, becomes a bloodbath of unprecedented scale. The initial fight claims more than half the tributes, a horrifying spectacle that sets the tone for the entire games. Haymitch's strategy is one of avoidance and opportunism. He uses his intelligence to find a defensible position, sources water, and uses his knowledge of plants to avoid poisonous ones. He is not a hunter in the way Katniss is. He is a scavenger and a strategist. The alliances he formed are tested immediately. Betrayals are common, and the psychological toll of watching so many die, including those he briefly connected with, begins to wear on him. The capital introduces mutations specifically designed to herd tributes together, creating forced, dramatic confrontations for the viewers. The novel delves deeply into the horror of these games. With so many participants, the action is relentless. The career pack from Districts 1, 2, and 4 is larger and more dominant than ever, systematically hunting down the weaker tributes. Haymitch survives by staying on the move, using guerrilla tactics, and letting his stronger enemies eliminate each other. He becomes a ghost in the arena, a figure that the commentators begin to talk about for his unnerving ability to evade death. The climax, outsmarting the system. The final act of the games narrows down to a handful of tributes, primarily the remnants of the career pack in Haymitch. He is outnumbered and outmatched physically. His only hope lies in using the arena itself against his opponents. The key element of the arena is its force field, a shimmering, electrified barrier that contains the action. Earlier in the games, Haymitch had noticed a strange phenomenon. A thrown weapon that glanced off the force field seemed to behave erratically. He files this observation away, a piece of a puzzle he doesn't yet know how to solve. In the final confrontation, he is cornered by the last two career tributes, a powerful boy and girl from District 1. He is wounded and has nowhere to run. The female tribute, confident of her victory, hurls a razor-edged axe at him with lethal force. In a split-second, life-or-death decision, Haymitch doesn't try to dodge it directly. Instead, he positions himself so that the only path for the axe is directly towards the force field at his back. He drops to the ground at the last possible moment. The axe hits the force field, and, as he predicted, the energy barrier doesn't just absorb it, it repels it with violent force, sending it ricocheting back and embedding it in the chest of the District 1 girl, killing her instantly. It is a moment of stunning brilliance and defiance. Haymitch didn't just win by being the last one standing. He won by using the capital's own ultimate symbol of control as a weapon. He didn't just outfight his opponents. He outthought the game makers themselves. The aftermath, the price of victory. Haymitch's victory is not met with celebration in the capital's inner circles, but with cold, furious silence. President Snow, then a rising star in the regime, personally takes note of this clever boy from District 12. Haymitch's victory speech is a masterclass in forced humility, but Snow sees through it. He recognizes a dangerous intellect, one that could inspire others to think their way out of the capital's traps. The punishment is swift and merciless. It is designed to be a lesson not just for Haymitch, but for all of Panem. No victory comes without the capital's permission. Shortly after his return to District 12, Capitol peacekeepers murder his mother, his younger brother, and his girlfriend. The message is clear. Your life belongs to us, and any defiance, even the intellectual kind displayed in the arena, will be met with absolute, soul-crushing retaliation. This is the moment Hamish Abernathy dies, and the broken man is born. The clever, strategic boy is hollowed out, leaving only a shell fueled by grief and guilt. His descent into alcoholism begins as the only way to numb the pain of his victory. The capital allows him to live as a victor, a constant, walking reminder in District 12 of the cost of defiance. Themes and legacy. Sunrise on the Reaping enriches the entire Hunger Games saga by exploring several key themes. The nature of intelligence as a weapon. While Katniss's story highlights survival skills and symbolic defiance, Hamish's story is about intellectual rebellion. His victory is a testament to the power of a sharp mind over brute force, a concept the capital finds uniquely threatening. The cycle of trauma. The book provides the definitive explanation for Hamish's character. His drunkenness and cynicism are not personality flaws, but symptoms of profound, state-sanctioned trauma. It adds immense depth to his relationship with Katniss and Peeta. He is not just a reluctant mentor, but a man trying to guide them through a nightmare he knows all too well, desperate to prevent them from suffering his fate. The escalation of control. The 50th Games show the capital refining its tools of oppression. The double reaping was a calculated act to increase fear and division. Hamish's subsequent punishment established a new precedent for controlling victors, a policy that would be in full effect by the time Katniss wins. The seeds of rebellion. The sheer brutality of these games, witnessed by a generation that included a young Finnick Odair and a teenage Plutarch Heavensbee, galvanizes anti-capital sentiment. It becomes a rallying point, a symbol of the regime's excessive cruelty that would fuel the nascent rebellion for the next 24 years. In conclusion, Sunrise on the Reaping is a dark, complex, and essential chapter in the history of Panem. It transforms Hamish Abernathy from a supporting character into a tragic hero in his own right. By showing us the precise moment hope and cleverness were crushed by tyrannical force, the novel makes the eventual success of the rebellion in Mockingjay all the more hard-won and significant. It completes our understanding of the world, proving that every victor is a victim, and every sunrise in Panem illuminates a fresh layer of suffering.